going in. Hi, everybody. Sorry, Jim and I were talking not live. So, how
You were
are
great.
you, Jim?
I'm good. What was I saying? I was looking at my old witness list because I didn't want to forget anybody from the last trial.
Yeah,
I'm still working on that one, so I haven't really gotten around to we get lawyers on witness lists now. It's a lot.
there's a lawyer on the witness list.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Twitter told me, that the three defense lawyers from the original trial were on
See,
the Commonwealths.
I am different than a lot of, I feel like, our lawyers and like law tubers watching, because I was so entrenched with the Karen Reed trial that I didn't get to catch most of what went on in the YSL trial. So,
Yeah.
are you able to give like a quick run through of who is in trouble, why are they in trouble, and like what's going on, where it is, etc.?
Uh, that's tough doing it quickly. The
I
thing,
mean, take your time. You don't have to
okay,
like
yeah,
do like
okay,
90 seconds. I'm not going to time you
okay,
like
okay.
Auntie Bev did on the stand today with David
Okay.
Yannetti. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, I do feel like that was a joke that went wrong.
That was
It's
not okay. Alessi like lost it a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Based
Yeah.
on like I've heard judges do that before, and you usually take them so seriously that it just doesn't. Yeah, I think that was a joke gone wrong, but
Yeah, just
it
a
went
bad
very
joke.
wrong.
A bad joke. And she had to like bite into it. Like she had to take it
Yeah.
all the way.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. It's like self-deprecating, but it wasn't because she's a judge, and so it doesn't work
Yeah.
the same way.
Yeah. I
Uh,
hear you.
but what was I saying? Yeah, right. So okay, so I was just trying to do a video about this. Funny, I was trying to do a video about something related to the trial before this, and I couldn't do it in under a reasonable amount of time. But
How much is a
yeah,
reasonable amount of time?
I don't even know. Um, it's like 40 minutes, and I was trying to do it in like 10. But I can give you the high level thing. It's
Okay, yeah, very high level. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So there is a rapper named Young Thug, and he's from Atlanta, and he had a record label named YSL, and it was successful, and employed a bunch of people. They went on tours and everything. And it seems like there's also a gang called YSL around the same area.
Okay.
And some of this is my opinion, some of it's fact, but I think that there's some overlap between the record label and the gang. And the Fulton County District Attorney's Office charged 28 people as part of a conspiracy. They originally said that Young Thug was the leader, the head of the wolf pack. That's what they said. Um, and they were charged under the RICO. They're collectively charged with doing murders and all the bad stuff, guns, drugs.
Yeah,
What
that's bad.
else? There was a scheme to fly a drone into a jail to sneak in cell phones. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was the prosecution itself wasn't very strong. There was a lot of how can I put this? It wasn't great. It wasn't very well done.
I
It
mean,
wasn't very well done.
if you're speechless because you're afraid to curse, don't fucking worry about it. If that's not the
No.
case, then I don't know what to tell you. But
Yeah.
I'm super. I didn't even like tell my guests who you were, other than a lawyer. That's
I'm just a normal guy.
This is just a random dude that I found out lives in LA, and I was like, hey, do you want to come on my show tonight and just randomly discuss, like, First Amendment, Karen Reed, YSL, and he agreed
Yeah.
to it. So, welcome. If you are joining us on X, make sure to follow Jim at Angrily
It's
Happy ESQ. Is that correct?
I think it's the other way around. Happily angry. I had to change it. It's happily angry SQ.
Okay. And then I am, if you're watching on YouTube and you have not done so yet, I would love if you guys could follow me. It's at Lacey J Meeks. I had no privacy concerns when I made this in 2008, obviously. So I included my whole name.
I didn't even finish your question. Where it is now, the trial, and what I'm doing. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, no. I wanted
okay.
to throw out the beginning things because we like jumped into it super fast, and so I just want people to know like who the hell you are, and and let people know that if they want to interact in the chat, if they have any questions for you, Jim, if they have any questions for me, I don't see why, but bring it on. I would love for you guys to get the chat going again tonight. That was pretty great last week. So if you are watching on YouTube, yeah, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel, I guess. What is it? It's Lacey on X is, I believe, my Twitter handle. It's not Twitter, YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, there I am. I see myself.
What's your YouTube handle?
I don't have anything on there yet.
Yeah, like that's why I keep screwing it up when I give it out. Yeah, it's Lacey on X. That's me.
Yeah, I was trying to do one earlier, but I wasn't happy with it. But I need to do it because these things.
You have to, yeah.
Like I do all the work, and then by the time I'm done, it's no longer relevant. I did that with Karen Reed a bunch of times.
You're like a perfectionist, aren't you?
Yeah, that's always been a problem for me, even professionally.
Yeah.
It can always get better. But then when you're doing videos, it ends up being like ad-libbed. It's not as perfectly organized as I want it to be anyway. So it's
when you don't know like all the things, you already go into it thinking like, oh my gosh, it's not going to be like as good as I want it to be. I found myself yesterday, I was going to make a TikTok and I was like, I don't know how the hell to do all this. So I had taken like the photos and then I was like, screw this. And my hairdresser just watched me and she's like, I could have shown you how to do that. I don't know. So, anyways, we were talking about the, why one of the things that I wanted to speak with him about tonight is the YSL trial. And if you want to go back to, you were explaining that YSL was a rapper, but the DA decided to indict like 28 people who they believed were in this gang or part of the music. Is it one and the same essentially? Like some guys doing like the beats and like they're all intertwined. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was all that formal of a. I mean, there was a label called YSL, but I mean, like the label, like labeling somebody as YSL, it wasn't very specific. I mean,
okay,
you could just call yourself that, and nobody would. It wouldn't be odd. I think it was for some people, it was just more of an affiliation with the neighborhood that they grew up in.
Yeah.
So people, I mean, there are people who had never met any musicians who would have like YSL in their Twitter handle or whatever. So it was a very loose, undefined affiliation.
You didn't have to pay fees.
Yeah. No, it was years. It's still going. I wasn't there for the trial too. I should add that. I don't know.
Okay.
I joined after, and so there was. Let me see, where were we? We had the indictment. There was that was May of 22, and then there was a bunch of motions practice. Jury selection started in January of 23, and then the trial started in November of 23. This was the first trial. I think there were 6 people in the first trial. I think 10 or so people had pleaded out, and there were 6. And since the trial ended on, but I think it was almost exactly a year it was a few days past a year. So it was November of 24, or yeah, November 24. So from the start of jury selection to the first verdict or the first conclusion, it was, what's that, like January to the following November. So a year and almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and there's a lot. There was lawyers getting arrested. There was.
That's what I thought I remembered. Like the yelling in the court, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you in contempt, like sort of things. Is that what happened?
That was one of the. That was one of them. Yeah, there was.
Okay.
That's kind of the most famous one. That's when Brian Steele, who was Young Thug's kind of like the most famous one. He pretty clearly
Okay.
isn't in a gang. He found out about a secret meeting between the prosecutors and the witness who was then on the stand and the judge, and he wanted answers as to what had happened, and the judge wanted to know how the lawyer had found out about it, and the judge
Isn't
was.
Shouldn't a lawyer be in on those meetings? I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There are like versions of it that could have been okay, but that wasn't one of them. If it had just been, there was a question about whether he would take the fifth or would he plead the fifth. If it had just been about that, then that might be okay. But once it gets to what you're actually saying, what the witness is actually saying, to me, that's kind of where the line is.
So all these guys, that must have been just like a crazy SWAT day, like to come up on 28 different people's homes and like take these guys down one at a time, because they would have to do it all together, right? Like they couldn't just do one and then like go look for the other guys. Like the word's gonna get out that they're hot.
Yeah. Well, some of them were. The crazy thing is, some of them were already in prison. So, like Rodelius Ryan, he's had a life sentence. He's not going anywhere. It was just they just wanted him in there to make the others look bad. It was pretty clear. There are actually 2 people with life sentences that were in this case.
Why do they have life sentences? And you're going down a little bit, like it's more.
I sat back.
Whispering.
Okay. They were convicted of murder for when they were 15, and it's the funny thing is, so they were. This isn't funny at all, actually.
I know it. Yeah.
They were. So they were convicted, but the state was essentially trying to prove it a second time in this trial to show the conspiracy to link like everybody else into it, right? And so this time they had all the best defense lawyers in Georgia taking shots at the witnesses, and they just completely broke down. The story fell apart, but the murder trial was over a couple years ago, so they're still in prison, even though the prosecution's case fell apart the second time.
So you don't think that the younger guys did it?
I mean, it was. I'm not an expert in their case, but seeing their star witnesses. So there were two witnesses basically. One of them didn't testify, and the other one is the one who was broken down on the witness stand. So, at the very least, it's concerning that upon a thorough cross-examination, it no longer stands up. But
okay, so
I'm not saying definitively that they're innocent, but there's definitely cause for concern.
That's interesting. And so getting back to you, so you weren't at the first or the most recent YSL trial. So how did you get involved with it now? Or were you involved with it then and just didn't go? Or like how did that work out?
Oh, it's such a dumb story.
Those are my favorite stories.
Okay, so I just saw I started watching when when Brian Steele, the lawyer that kind of got arrested, he got out the same day, but he got arrested. I started watching that because it looked dramatic, and I love drama. And it wasn't some like high-minded, I want to see justice done sort of thing. I just wanted to see something entertaining on YouTube, and I started following at that point. And let me see, that was like a month or so after, about a month, maybe 6 weeks after that was when the actually the next witness, the very next witness after the one I just talked about, that one had the secret meeting.
Yeah.
He testified, and there was just a lot of things that were strange about sort of the procedure and history of his case. And I'd just been reading about it because I was probably trying to avoid work or something. I don't know. But I just noticed some problems with it. So I started tweeting about it. And then I kept tweeting about it. And he had previously pleaded guilty and he got probation. But then his probation was revoked because he no longer agreed with, well, he never agreed with the
guidelines, like
yeah,
what did he
yeah,
do? What did he do?
well, there were
Carrying a gun? Was he like
no, there were statements in his plea agreement that he was supposed to say were true, and he said on the stand that they weren't true and that he never said them.
Oh.
And there are other things, but there are other problems, but that was the issue, and I kept yelling about it, and eventually I got in touch with his family. Then I talked to him, and then he kind of gave me the go-ahead to try to. Actually, I don't remember the exact sequence, but eventually I got somebody in Georgia, a lawyer named Tiffany Adams in Georgia. She's the local counsel because I'm not admitted there, and we agreed to take his case. And
okay,
we have some stuff forthcoming on that. But he's been in prison since November, October 20,
3 or 4.
24.
Okay, now, is this similar to Massachusetts where it's going to be like a pro hoc vice sort of thing? Okay,
Yep.
Walk us through that process, because I think a lot of us are unfamiliar with how it works, other than knowing that Jackson's like pro hoc vice admittance like was almost taken away earlier this week. So that was really interesting to watch play out, and thank God that didn't happen.
Yep. Yeah, it's usually not that dramatic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
For me, it was just, what did I have to do? I'd give them money. That's really the first thing
like
you have to do.
Instead of having to take the bar, kind of like
yeah.
Okay.
It's like a one-off. It's like a one-off, essentially, is what it is. You can't do it. One of the rules. Okay, I'll just start from the beginning. You pay. It's usually the bar association or like some legal. It could be like a court or something, but somebody in the state that you want to practice in.
Yeah.
It's usually an application. There's usually some kind of certificate that your state that you're admitted in will say like you are really a lawyer. Background check, things like that. Yeah, usually, realistically, for most people, it's just like a hassle. It's just paperwork.
Yeah.
In cases like this, like the Karen Reed case, it's not a typical pro hoc case or any kind of case really. It's just been so contentious that those sorts of things are more disputed, whereas normally they'd just be administrative. Nobody would care or pay attention. They pay attention, but nobody would really care about a pro hoc admission. But it's a one-off thing. You can't do it like repeatedly. You can't have 15 pro hocs in a row.
How long does one go for? And for the entirety of the case?
I think it is, for me, I think I have to renew it yearly if it goes for more than a year. But
so that would be interesting for Karen's then.
Yeah. It could be different there.
Because A of all, she had one trial that went wrong, right? So if it was from the entirety of the trial, like what happens with a hung jury? And then like if it is like a yearly thing, like when did he start getting pro hoc vice privileges? Is that see, is that something that he can only do so many times, and working through the legal system is anything but quick. So like you have to think, shit, like I hope he's not like running out of time or
No,
something.
no, I don't think it's like
That
that.
I like, and my anxiety gets to me.
Yeah, the concern's more when you're doing multiple cases rather than one long case.
Okay.
They don't want you just using pro hoc admission just to practice it regularly
Okay.
instead of taking the bar. That's the
So
main concern.
let me correct myself. I apologize. So you had to apply for that. And have you been down to Georgia at all? No. Okay.
I've been to the airport. That's it.
When did you officially, join in some capacity for this?
Well, I was the first one on the team. Okay, so his first lawyer represented him at his guilty plea, which was December of 22.
So he pleaded out.
Yeah.
Got it.
Um,
Sorry if I missed that.
no, that's right. I got to stop myself from saying things, but yeah, that's when he entered his guilty plea, December 28th of 22. And I don't think he was represented after that. And then, yeah, no, I don't think he was after that. Maybe when he testified, but he didn't have a lawyer. Didn't really have a lawyer after that. So I think I joined him late November, early December
Of 2024.
Yep.
Okay. And what are the conditions? What did the judge hand down?
She, she said that she didn't testify in accordance with his factual
No, no, no,
acknowledgement.
no, no. Like, how long is he? Like,
Oh,
what are? Yeah.
5 years.
Like, what's his sentence?
He got 5 years, which is one of the
5 years.
longest. Yeah, I think that was longer than everybody except for one of the actual people who were charged with like murder and conspiracy to sell drugs and things like that. Because nobody in the underlying case really, the charges didn't really stick to anybody.
Oh,
With one
okay.
exception. So he's the one who's gotten in the most trouble than pretty much anybody else. And
Okay.
one of the things that's interesting about these conspiracy, I kind of referenced this earlier with the 15-year-olds who were previously convicted of murder, then they were charged again for the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of the same story with my clients, and he's being charged on the basis of something from 2015 that he already pleaded guilty to and did like a year prison time for. So it's not like he's done a new, some whole new set of
New
things.
crime. So,
Yeah.
is he eligible for parole? Like, since he's already been in? Well, I mean, he hasn't been in there a year, but is that something that he's eligible for?
That would be eventually, but not quite yet. I think you have to do half of your time, or they just changed it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. So, what is your goal with this trial? What are you trying to achieve with him? Get him out, or like admonish the system? Like, what are your thoughts on the DA? Like, I'm very interested in that part for other
No,
reasons.
I mean, I can't get into like the personal stuff. I mean, definitely we're trying to get him out. That's the goal.
Just get him out.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do more than that, but
Okay.
he has a family, and we'd like to get him out as soon as possible. And
Now, what does he like do for a living? Is he a part of the music record? What did you refer to it earlier? Like,
so, like a record label. I mean, they all do
record
different stuff.
label, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what
No, he did in like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But no, he actually has a shipping business. He has like a driver's license, like a commercial driver's license, and he had like I don't know, some kind of, I haven't seen the truck, but some kind of like shipping truck, and he had contracts and
Yeah,
had a legitimate business.
he has a family, he has a business. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
there
really
were.
cool. They picked up on you from seeing what you had online, like that you wanted to be involved. I think that's badass.
Yeah, I yelled a lot. I yelled a lot on
Okay, when you
Twitter about
say
it.
that, like, can you read me? Here's what I want you to do, Jim. If you
Okay.
could, please. I want you to go on your phone or your computer, whichever one you're not using right now,
Okay.
or you can use it, and find one of those tweets, and I want you to read it in the tone it was meant to be taken in.
I can't do. I deleted them all because I didn't want to
What?
give any. I didn't want to give anything away, so I had to go back and delete all my tweets about it.
Do you think that you can recall one?
No, I'm not much of a performer. I'm pretty.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like, when you say angry, what do you mean? Like, is it literally yelling at someone? Is it just
No,
making the world know that they're dumb? Like, what
I
is
like that. No, it's not like it's not like an outward thing. It's more of a inward. I will get obsessed about it until I'm right and win, sort of thing. Somebody actually was mad at me on the. They said that what was it? It was a Karen Reed thing. It was said like you're a liar. You're not really like your Twitter name says. You're not passionate enough for the Karen Reed for the free Karen Reed movement.
Oh, I didn't know
And
there was an exam. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't get like me getting angry and like punching a hole in my monitor is. I wish I could do that. I can't, but punching my monitor isn't gonna help anything. So it's more of a directed angry than a screaming at the moon angry. But nothing against screaming at the moon angry. It has its place.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
just have to decide to use your anger and where that's going to get you. And
yeah,
I certainly hope that no one from the actual like free Karen Reed side said that to you. Like, I hope it
uh,
was from the other side. But then
I'm
again,
just, I'm just
just
trying to figure out what's going on.
I just,
I don't even know what's happening.
excuse me, I laughed and burped at the same time. That's funny. Um, it's a shit show,
Yeah.
and I don't know. And when people ask other uh free Karen Reed people to describe the case in like, a minute or less, we laugh, kind of like you did earlier.
Yeah.
There's how could you possibly describe a case that's been going on this long, that is going in its second trial in a
Yeah.
minute or less?
Yeah.
How can you accurately represent the corruption or the players involved? Turtle Boy, he at least deserves 2 minutes. I mean, like, let's give it to him. He's
Yeah.
without TB, like, we wouldn't know about Karen Reed, and that's what's absolutely terrifying. Is
Yeah.
that like that this could be you, and by you I mean like any um well educated, um has their shit together mid
Eh,
40s woman in America.
yeah.
Like, th- what's stopping it from coming to your city, like, especially if you live in Massachusetts? I mean, I would get the hell out of there personally, but um I you got to know who you're voting for. And I'm surprised to see all these, like, these people that say that they're going to run against Morrissey, who's, you know the DA, and then they really don't, like, I don't see much work being put in. Um
Yeah.
and this is the perfect time to run for that position if you could find like a anyone interested in politics. Like, of course, that sounds like an
Yeah.
incredible opportunity to put down, like, take out someone who's been in power since 1972, I want to say. 49 years is what I was told yesterday. I don't know if the years match up.
That's so
Or
long. That's too long.
okay,
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, where to start?
that's what I
That
was
is one
going
of the
to
things.
say. Like
Yeah.
you were like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all are in our own circles. Like we know what we know, but we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are different problems everywhere. Like Karen's case is crazy, but it's also not, you know,
How so?
there are,
Explain
I
it.
mean, there are people there are innocent people in prison. It's
Yeah,
not an
there
unheard
are.
of thing. There are, I mean, imagine if she hadn't gotten bond and she very well could have been waiting in jail this entire time since January 29th,
Yeah.
2022. That's perfectly common. Um, Cops, evidence going missing, that happens. Good, the good old boys club. These are things that happen. And her case is definitely an extreme example of some of these things, but it's everywhere. Um, and I think that
So
in a way, she has the resources to expose those things, which is really the
she
sort of
has resources, but I think she has an invaluable resource in Turtle Boy being able to amplify her voice and her resources. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how I perceive the situation. I think that um it's I think it's hilarious to watch the prosecution like drooling over Aiden's messages with her. You're not going to find any messages about witness intimidation. Like that's these people are just like getting themselves excited for nothing. But
yeah.
I I I guess it's difficult for me, Jim, because I know I live in a great city that has its own police force.
Mhm.
That is really connected with the community.
Yeah.
Do I think that they are
I didn't mean literally every city.
corruption can't happen? Like, of course not. Corruption can happen
Yeah,
anywhere. But I think that's why it's important to talk about it and like to get people riled up when they do see it. You know
yeah,
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? So
Oh,
I mean, that's when I see it and I see it so blatantly while people are just like sitting there acting like everything's cool, everything's fine, just look away. Like,
yeah,
are you kidding me?
that's not my style. No, I was just saying that I don't want people to see this case. That's one of the things is I don't want people to see the Karen Reed case and think that um,
It's done.
it's yeah, exactly. That
Yeah,
it's oh, we got this. She gets acquitted, and oh,
we still have work to do.
back it up, boys. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to take anything from her case. It's just it's it's
Have you
there are other problems too.
have you read into any of the other cases going on in Massachusetts?
A bit, not as much. I mean,
Yeah, I
I get.
mean,
Yeah, no, I read a little bit about the Aiden's case. Not a ton. A
mhm.
little bit about the Sandra case, Sandra Birchmark.
Oh yeah,
But
that's wild, isn't it?
yeah, that is. And also, like, it is, and it's unsurprising and it's shocking, but not unsurprising. I guess I would say.
We have that program here in my city, the
It's so
Explorers
weird.
program. Yeah, we have that, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's spoken so highly about, and those kids end up coming back to work as cops in our city. Like they, it's been a very successful program here, and I just think about the cops involved who I know who have like been teachers or like advisors for it, and I'm like, yeah, I can't see them hooking up for with like 15-year-olds for several years and having a totally separate family. without with these kids. But
Well, it's never the ones you do think it is. That's how they get away with it.
yeah, I am gonna be like questioning seeing people at the 4th of July parade and just staring at them.
Yeah.
I know you.
What state are you in? You have to tell me the city, but I was just curious.
Oh, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. You can Google
Oh,
me. I have no problems sharing my identity like
okay.
whatsoever.
Yeah. I was
Um,
curious.
whereabouts in LA are you?
I'm downtown.
You're
Anywhere
downtown.
what? Yeah, I used to work in Beverly Hills.
Okay. Cool.
And I left there to do this thing.
So what is your like specific field of law that you're most interested in / employed it within, or tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's actually completely different. This is my first criminal
Okay.
law thing, uh, aside from TV, I guess.
I get it.
Yeah, no,
Actually.
yeah, I did like I worked. It's a first most of my career was with a firm that so they say there's like some kind of fraud in the SEC. The feds come in and investigate, and
That's my husband's worst nightmare. He works in finance.
okay, it was fine. He's fine. It's
No,
okay.
I know. But it's funny. Continue.
Yeah, so there would be like a Ponzi scheme, and then the prosecution would be done, but the stuff would still be, out there. And so usually somebody's appointed to sort of recover the
Like
stuff.
assets.
Like what?
Like
Oh,
assets.
assets. Yeah. Assets. I thought you said access. Like, yeah, assets. Yeah, that's right. It's usually, I mean, if there's cash, that's not hard. You just tell the
Like a
bank to
boat.
hold on to it. Yeah,
A
boats.
plane.
Done a plane. Usually
I
a lot of
can imagine the
cars.
things that are probably crazy that you've been able to seize.
It's like dumb. It's not even crazy. It's
I
just
know,
dumb.
it's like mink coats, like for every day of the week.
There's one guy that knocked down. He got a bunch of cars and he knocked down the wall between his living room and his garage so he could just look at his cars. He spent like $100,000 on it. That was a good one. I like that one.
That sounds like my father-in-law. I shit you not.
It was
Just
apparently it was like it was so notorious. I told somebody who didn't even know who I was talking. They knew who I was talking about, even though
you didn't.
what I told you was what I told them. And like, oh, I know who that guy is.
Oh man.
And he's not. He's halfway across the country. He's not even close to Los Angeles. But yeah, so we do that sort of asset recovery stuff, and then I switched firms and I started doing a little bit more like bankruptcy, which is actually pretty
Okay.
similar, and some more of the same stuff, but like on the state level with the state regulators. And I did. Okay, I was getting into like I did financing and bankruptcy and insolvency.
Okay.
Some litigation, a little bit of everything. That's kind of how it goes. There's some
Well, I
partner
mean,
needs something, and you say
you
yes.
always need it. You're always gonna need these attorneys and these services, like and by we, I mean like society. And so if you're a lawyer and you enjoy helping people, like that is an area that we're always going to need as a society. But from what I mean, obviously that's something that I feel very strongly about is medical bankruptcies and the cost. I have personally experienced it, and it's something a lot of people don't talk about. There's just this horrible spotlight put on you, and you're already dealing with being sick or recovering from an illness or something like that, and then you have the bills that everything doesn't cover, like the insurance doesn't cover, and you're like, well, what? I don't have that, like $100,000 just chilling in my bank. Like what?
Yeah, no, I mean, even if you think you do that, I mean, I don't, but
Yeah.
it goes by fast. It doesn't. I mean, unless you're like a billionaire, then okay, you have to
Yeah.
listen to this. But even if you're reasonably well off, I mean, look at Karen Reed. Look at her legal bills. They go fast.
I
That money goes by
absolutely,
fast.
if we won the lottery tomorrow, I know that we wouldn't stop working. Like I recognize that we would, squirrel it away where it can grow interest and all that boring shit. But
Yeah, it is
like,
boring.
a lot of people think like I'm just gonna go buy some yachts and go crazy and maybe like the first day, but then you're gonna have to get those bills and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I did not win enough money. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I left my job. I couldn't do the thing I'm doing now at um at that
Georgia.
firm. Yeah, I couldn't do the Georgia thing in California, so I had to kind
Okay.
of make a choice. There are a few reasons, but
No,
that was
it's
the big
cool.
one.
It's whatever you want to mention, whatever you don't want to mention is totally fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
some of it's just boring, more than like private. But yeah, I left the firm, and
yeah,
that was in Beverly Hills. I'm already regretting it, saying it out loud. That was maybe like a month ago, 3 4 weeks, a month ago. Um, I just wasn't. I didn't have time to work on anything else, and
okay.
yeah, he was kind of sitting in prison, so I decided to switch and focus on that.
That's a huge transition for you, Jim. Like
Yeah,
that's that's badass. You have to
yeah,
have the cojones to like walk away from a lush Beverly Hills attorney position. I don't care what it is, but like to follow your dream and do what you want, like that's badass. So cheers to you.
nice. I need people to know that I'm right on the internet. That's 90% of what it is. Yeah, yeah. It was time. I like wasn't motivated at all to do work. It was
Yeah,
definitely an adjustment for the first like 2 weeks, just to not have any structure at all. Basically,
yeah.
like it's the weekend and nothing changes. And now it's a Monday and it's exactly the same. So that was
Hear
definitely
you,
a
man.
huge adjustment. Yeah, it was weird. It wasn't even like you'd think it would be like fun, but it was just weird. It was kind of like, okay, I got to be doing something. I have to do something. And I mean, I was working on this thing, but it was strange.
Being your own boss, I mean, it requires to be successful at being your own boss. You I have found that um, a lot of meaning behind the saying being intentional with your time. I
Yeah,
would have to block out, 4 hours for orders that I was taking in, packaging them, putting them together. And that's kind of like, I feel like what you're going through right now. Those growing pains of realizing like I have all this time now, like, but I have stuff to do. It's just figuring out like A of all what comes first and B of all, do I want to be bogged down by administrative crap, which I'm sure you don't. Um,
yeah.
and uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just taking a swing at it.
Yeah, no. When I was a firm, that was what always would get me in trouble is I do the hard stuff. I do like the most time consuming, most difficult stuff, but I wouldn't do like the easy stuff. And so when I got in trouble, it was always like, hey,
Big
you've
trouble.
got to put in your time. And I'd remember I put it in, but it was like the easiest, most mundane stuff that would get me yelled at, which is like frustrating and annoying, but it's also
Right.
it's not hard. You just have to do it, and that can be the hard part, I guess.
It can when you don't feel motivated, right? And that's kind of what you were alluding to.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
like when I was motivated to do like the law stuff, when you get to the end of the day and you have to enter your time, it's like it's not hard, but it's still it feels hard in the moment. You don't want to do
Yeah.
it. So you put it off and then you're getting screamed at by a partner.
Um,
Oh man. I don't miss that.
so um do you feel like how long do you feel like this case will take you? Like, how long do you see yourself a part of this case? Are you looking for new cases? Are you are you considering like other types of law as well? Like, give us a breakdown on all things Jim
Yeah,
professionally.
yeah. This case, I mean, the funny thing is, I was pretty much done with the research before I even like got engaged to represent him because I was like tweeting about this stuff. That's why I said I deleted all the stuff, all the tweets
I
because
don't
it was
know
all
about this. People think I
yeah.
know all about my guests, and I'm like, no, I literally, I want to be
I
surprised.
I
Like,
hid it. I deleted it. It's not there. Nobody can find it. Well, I mean, they can, but they have to dig it up. No, so that's it. It should be. It could be done in like a couple weeks, a month. Um,
oh
it's
wow,
just it's just everything takes forever.
right?
It's just been once I once we finalized me being on his team and we got the local council, like okay, this is going to be done in like a week, and then you just wait and wait and wait,
Yeah,
and eh, yeah, it's just a time
it's
consuming
never a
thing.
week. It's never a week. That's what he's trying to say, everyone. My
Yeah,
God.
it's I think it was
Sorry.
frustrating because somebody in the chat.
No, I and I haven't even looked at my phone this entire time. It lit up and I saw that the Browns took another stupid fucking player that they didn't need, and it's just Browns misery. So, excuse my sadness of once again never knowing what it will be like to get a Super Bowl. But continue.
Someday, someday, maybe. I mean, the Red Sox won eventually, so
Oh shit, you're about to piss off a lot of people in here.
what? That was good. 2004 was a good year. That was
Oh my God. I don't, is the chat even activated? Like, are people hearing what he's saying about your Boston team?
I mean that is a good thing, not a bad thing.
I mean,
I'm from
uh,
New England, so
oh yeah, aren't you from like Maine?
yep.
Which is traditionally, or traditionally is not the correct word, I do not believe, but it's, I believe this is still true. One of the largest gun owning states out in the 50 states.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I looked it up, but that wouldn't surprise me at all.
when I found that out, I was like, "Are you for real?" Like, I would have I would have guessed several other places. Like, um, I don't know why that came up as my main fact. I know
Yeah,
I just from work, like civics. Like, I
yeah.
know
Those are
stupid,
random facts. Yeah,
and
that would surprise me.
this is what Jim and I had decided we wanted to talk about. We just wanted to like have a free, cool, chill out conversation. If anyone has questions, like you can ask them. Um,
Yeah, I didn't really get to see any of this stuff today.
okay. It was it was intense from what I saw because I was busy too. And
I mean,
it
I stuck a peek here and there. Don't get me wrong.
I
That's about it.
I I can't believe how angry Alessi got. I can't. I think when you finally push someone so hard, like nonstop, that person is going to bite back. And I think we saw some biting back today from David Yannetti, not Jackson. Jackson is like, he's scared now because he already got in trouble this week. And
Yeah.
then
He's probably happy. He's like, I'm the chill guy now. I'm the chill guy on the team.
I wonder how Karen's feeling. Like, I mean, like her team has just been like under scrutiny,
Yeah.
and Bev has just not even tried, in my holy opinion, to disguise her bias. Like, it is alarming to me. Um, and people are like, "Well, you're not an attorney, you don't know that." You're right. I am not an attorney, but I am allowed to have opinions. So
We don't
I
know everything. It's not like you get a
that's what
magic
I
wand.
took away.
Yeah.
What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, the one that I thought the Betero denial, I thought that one was more reasonable than other people did, but on the other ones, like I more or less agree with what the sentiment seems to be. I think the treatment of the experts has been ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, even irrespective of the way she treated the defense witnesses, the expert witnesses.
from California, Dr. Marie, Dr.
Yeah,
Marie
well,
Russell.
I think the stage witnesses are from California too now. The Aperture, I recognize at least one of those names as being from there.
There's someone else from California who I don't know where or what are you saying
Aperture. I think they
their
were
job is in the trial, and I can tell you.
Aperture. I think they were doing some of the reconstructions. I think they were supposed to be like the Trooper Paul replacements. Um,
Oh, okay. So like would that be pro prosecution?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, well, I know far more about the defense than I do. I watched the whole prosecution. I mean, that was the first trial since, well, I didn't watch OJ
Oh,
from
they're new. They're new, so they wouldn't you wouldn't have seen the first trial.
that was one of the things that kind of reminded me. Is this your like is this like your kind of dream trial to work on?
No,
No,
no.
as someone who likes
Uh,
like, true crime and like uh all
um,
the attention. I mean,
I feel like
Jackson's probably gonna be gainfully employed for the rest of his life. So
he already was. I
yeah,
mean,
I know. I know.
the thing that drives me about this case is like, there's, like it's challenging, but it's not challenging in the way that's fun for me. That I
Mhm.
think like it's like I don't think everyone's kind of in a weird way. Like I think that everyone agrees on a lot of this stuff, but they're just drawing different conclusions. I mean, we all agree on what the Proctor text said. We all agree on
Right.
what Trooper Paul said.
Right.
The testimony was the testimony, and to me, like, there's just nothing to figure out. It's just trying to at scream and fight to get people to like see what you know to be true, which is that the investigation was ridiculous. Um, and that sounds infuriating to me. You know what I mean? I like figuring stuff out and solving puzzles, but I feel like they've known the answer for forever now, and it's just bang your head against a wall until you make some progress. That's the part that
That
a complicated long trial, a hard fought trial, that'd be fun. But this is just
well,
oh my god.
I think you will if you didn't hear this already, Yannetti, he was kind of backed into a corner today. I really feel this way, and if anyone disagrees, you can tell me off in the chat. But I feel like Yannetti was forced to show some cards today that he did not intend to show.
Mhm.
And he essentially said that the third person claim that they're going after is going to be uh Higgins, Brian
Oh yeah.
Albert, and Colin Albert. So it's literally three people. Instead of just one, because she was like, "Is it just one person?" And he was like, "No," and he was like, "It's three." And I think we all were like in collective, like, oh, like is he gonna say it? Are we gonna find out like who they are going after?
Yeah.
So that was really I think, unexpected.
Yeah, I kind of expected them to change their approach a little bit and maybe
Yeah.
stop, well, not stop, but kind of back off this specific trying to argue so much that there was conspiracy and just say, look at how dumb this is, and maybe you can
Oh,
like
that's
allude to a
interesting.
conspiracy, um, but you can imply a conspiracy, but they really forcefully argued for it the first time around. I wasn't sure they were going to take that same approach this time, but it seems like they're really naming names this time, which I'm
Yeah,
happy to
I
see.
mean, they're not leaving any stone unturned. I think they are going to be very well practiced, prepared. Um,
Oh, they're very prepared.
their witness list looked good. I was really happy for the last name on there, 91. It was Garrett Wing, who is the dog guy from YouTube, who is like a German Shepherd Jesus. Like, he has done it all. He's been a cop. He owns his own like mega successful dog training and like canine training company. He's worked with dogs his entire life. His dad was a dog canine officer, so he
I'd say his
became
dad was a dog.
one.
Wow, that really it's in his blood.
I mean, it's really evolutionary. um so
Yeah.
it I think he's going to be really helpful to have. He even has these um fake like arms that he'll have, like he'll show you where the dog bites will go into, like the indentations. He's like wicked smart. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. Who do you think will be the most beneficial towards the defense and beneficial to the prosecution in terms of witnesses?
Oh man, I'm not sure I'm ready for that. I know I knew we were going to talk about that, but let me see.
Well, okay.
But
So I
I
think
mean, I think
Roger's off. I don't think he's gonna be. Yeah, he's.
I think he'll be there. I think he's getting called one way or the other.
I don't. So
Not
that part
probably the
is what
state
I
necessarily.
missed this morning. I believe that was this morning, like at the very first part of it. Um, I know that when I turned it on, they were already yelling, and I was like,
Is he not on the list? What is this one?
"Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that."
I just googled witness list, like that was going to get me what I wanted.
He's probably on the witness list.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to assume the defense would call him. That would be yeah, he's on the defense list.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. I the irreparable damage that her defense is going to have upon that guy, his life and his like self-esteem and like all of his self-respect is just going to be like, well,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it won't. He's just doesn't. Maybe he doesn't feel shame.
yeah, he could be.
Um, Let me see. Let's look through this. The defense list looks like like the state list. Half these
Yeah,
people are cops. Like a Buchanan on there. That's bad. Officer Keefe isn't great. Or Trooper Keefe. He's the one that did this sneaky cell phone extraction. Lucky Lochran.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was when did he do that? February 1st, I think? Or yeah. For whose phone did he do? Jim McCabe's, I think? I can't remember which one it was. Hold on. I can look it up if you want.
um
He did one of them.
well, let me put it this way. Did you watch the entire trial last year?
No, I was probably 75, no, maybe 75%.
Who
Maybe less. I don't know.
It's okay. It's you're not being graded, I promise. Who which witness did you like think was devastating, and which witness, and it can be for either side, do you think was helpful in what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I think the ones that are helpful for the defense were the people who were Proctor and Paul were probably more Paul than Proctor. It should have been more Paul than Proctor.
I have a friend who is convinced of the same thing. Like, she doesn't understand why they didn't like throw Paul down there and let him like fight it out on the stand as long as Proctor did.
I mean, it was getting worse. It wasn't getting better, I think. Oh, you mean why the defense didn't?
Yeah.
I mean, as he was just kind of sad. It was like kicking a puppy. You know what I mean? He wasn't the same as like Buchanan or Proctor.
It's not
He was just confused. He was confused and scared.
why.
Yeah, I think probably Paul was the most damaging or helpful, depending. Hurtful for Reed was, I don't know really. Hold on, I'm looking through my list from the last trial. Let me see. Man, there's not much. Maybe I guess maybe the cell phone, the Ian Whippen. He was pretty good, I thought.
You thought Ian was good? I thought he was there just to promote his own app.
Hey,
And look, why didn't they find someone like from Celebrate? Why didn't they find someone who's like from our country? Why did they go with Ian of all people? That was where my mind went.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a ton about his background. I thought he had worked at Cellbrite at one point, or it was.
Oh, maybe he did previously.
Yeah, I know he had like the app thing. I don't remember so many of these people. My goodness,
I know.
there's so many
now
Alberts.
I'm doubting myself. Like, no, that was definitely Ian. That was definitely Ian Whiffen. He's the one. Oh, you know what? He's the one that wouldn't like swear under God. He's the one that had a problem with that and made them not say God when he was sworn in. And
That makes me trust him more.
Everyone was like,
because if you're trying to get away with something, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be drawing attention to yourself. So by being weird, it makes me trust him more.
You know what? Jim has a very good point there.
It's never the weirdos. It's the one you wouldn't expect.
Oh no, my chat's not working. Hold on one second.
Okay. I don't even know who.
Oh my God, I see the chat now. I'm sorry, guys. I had my screen. You can tell I'm still like trying to understand StreamYard, coming from Spaces and hosting several hundred people a night, and like trying to do this has been totally different.
Let's see. Is Carrie Roberts, was she the nice one? Who was the one nice friend? That was Carrie, right? Oh, the Nagels, they had interesting testimony about the timing.
Carrie Roberts is really close friends with the O'Keefe family, and I really do not believe that she knew that what was going on. I don't think she knows of what was going on. I think she showed genuine emotion on the stand.
Yeah, she was one of the few that, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but one of the like the showed striking. You know,
you said, I'm sorry, what?
Like there weren't many like genuine, like strikingly genuine moments, despite the fact that, you know, at least directed towards the actual victim. There was like anger and there was other stuff, but she seemed like upset about.
Yeah, like she really cared about John, and she wasn't trying to make money off of it like crazy fucking Tara, who goes on Dateline and all these documentaries and wears his number. when she's married. Like, what a pathetic loser.
I've watched the
Great.
view of this documentary. People seem pretty upset about it.
Honestly, I watched the first night. I thought it was great. My mom watched it and she called me and she was like, I don't know why people are so afraid about it. Like, I think that Karen is not guilty. Like, I definitely feel like they have screwed her over. So I would love to know in the chat. Jim, why don't you refresh, just quickly tell people like who you are. I saw someone ask like, who is this man? Like that I randomly decided to have on the show. And how are you known?
I just want to lie now.
I know, right?
My name is Daniel Wolf. Um, I'm Jim Robichaud. I'm a lawyer from Los Angeles, and I'm from Maine originally, and I'm in Los Angeles now. I'm representing one of the defendants from the YSL RICO trial in basically an appeal. It's not technically an appeal, but essentially an appeal. And I like gossiping about the Karen Reed stuff, but not taking it too seriously because I can only do so many serious things. But I enjoy following it, and I have a dog. What else?
Oh, you do? What kind of dog do you have?
He's a mix. He's like a poodle. He actually got bit a couple last week, so he's still bouncing back. But yeah, he's just a medium sized mutt. Got him
Aw.
about 2 years ago.
I'm seeing a question like, have you ever done any wild? Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna post it. Have you ever done any wild probate estate cases involving young sugar babies wiping out old men right before they die?
Sounds like a standard probate case, to be honest with you. No, I haven't. I've never done any probate stuff. That's a whole thing. That's like a whole weird corner.
So
There's
is
one
that like its own specialty?
Oh yeah, the whole
In and of
probate things,
itself? Okay,
like wills and trusts and probate. And,
got it.
there's a tax case I know where there was a guy and he had 2 sugar babies. Actually, I have a whole other sugar baby story you reminded me of.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, he had 2 sugar babies, and there's a question of whether the money he was paying was like income to the sugar babies or whether it was I don't remember what the other treatment was, but there's a whole complicated tax case about essentially this exact scenario.
Wow. So it
It
was like a
happens.
Hugh Hefner situation. He wanted to know, like, maybe if he could get a cut on his taxes for
Oh, he had passed away, so it was
depending
like
on what.
he was gone. He was. They were trying to figure out how to handle. I don't think they got like all of his money or anything. It was like how they would treat whatever they did get. But these things happen.
Hi, Calypso. And yes, Peter said 2004 was a great year for the Sox.
I know.
Blah blah blah.
So I had this Ponzi scheme case where there was a guy and he had individual text threads with all of like the sugar babies, and then he had like a group thread with each of them collectively. And I had to like read through all of them.
So let me get this right.
Yeah,
You
that was my
had
job.
you had to go
Thousands.
through the group text of this guy with his sugar babies
Mhm.
who all knew of each other
Yeah.
while he was alive, or did they all kill him? Because I tend to believe that they probably ended his life.
No, they were. I mean, he was like he's still alive. He's not like old. He's like maybe 50. I mean, he's going to be in prison soon, so
Oh,
really a different experience. But no, I think they were all happy. The problem was that he was giving them the sugar was what we were supposed to get. I needed to get the sugar, but I need to get it back. But he was like buying them cars and condos and all kinds of stuff.
ugh. if you see me looking away, it's not like I'm texting anyone. I'm reading the chat. This is also new for me. I'm sorry, guys. Yannetti did a few snapbacks, and it was great to watch and agree. Alessi comes prepared always. I mean, he's like a savant. He is a record holder for like most prepared. He is, you know what? I'm going to say it, and I don't feel bad about saying it. I'm actually proud in this moment. He's the kid that comes to school and he's like, "Oh, you forgot to collect our homework from over the weekend." And you're like, "Fuck you, Billy. We didn't do our homework except for you." Like, he's that kid, but I'm glad that he's on our side. Like, he's really good. He's really, really good.
Yeah, he is. That's what got me in trouble. That's what all the anti-Karen Reed people started yelling at me for. I started yelling back at them.
Why? Because
I just said he was. I said he had an impressive day, and they didn't like that.
Okay, yeah, I hardly take any side seriously at this point. It's everyone's like unhinged on emotions right now. Like, and yes, I've taken off my nails. I started this stream with nails and I've stopped it. I'm halfway through and I'm with no nails. Talking about this is like, does it ever feel like really consuming, like in a case for you? Like you can like not have a life. Is that what you felt like at your old job?
Not the most recent one, because that was more a lot of different things. But when I was doing like the SEC, sometimes FTC cases,
Yeah,
when those hit, like you'll just get just so much information because you actually take over the company, so you can just read. You have to review everything. So you're basically starting from square one with just a huge dump of information, and you just have to absorb it as fast as possible. And that's all you do. And you're reading text threads with sugar babies and reading through accounting stuff. And
people in the chat are talking about
yeah.
excuse me, about the reasonable doubt.
Well, then maybe they should try something different this time.
Carrie Alberts is not too bright and was manipulated by the McAlberts, I think. I mean, money can go a long way, but I don't think that the McAlberts are as rich. I think that he does well, like McCabe does. From what I understand, he owns his own like software company. But he also has what, like 5 freaking kids that are going through college that played sports, and then his needy ass wife. I don't. Who knows? Maybe they're trust fund babies. I don't know. But
I had a friend. We worked in a bike. I had a friend. We worked in a bike shop together, and I found out after like years that he was like a diamondaire. Just like
my parents own oil fields.
It's like a 6th generation like diamond scion.
Wow. And he's working at that's why he's working in the bike shop. He's just like, "Yo man, I like bikes." Like, that's my dad said I had to get out of the house during the day. Like, this is what I'm doing.
That's how he told me. He's like, "I have to leave because I have to take over the family business." And I was like, "What, like other bikes?" I was like, "Nah." Oh, it's such a funny thing.
You should follow up with him. I feel like he'd be a strong investor in your new venture.
I talk to him sometimes. We're still cool. He's back in DC though. He's back on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm a local Ohioan dying to get out. Calypso. What was the other thing? Peter just asked. Oh, yeah, this is good. What's it like working with Young Thug? Difficult client or not so bad?
I've never. I don't work with him. He's
You haven't met him.
He's one of the other defendants. From what I hear, he's great though. He seems everyone seems to like him. He's still on. He's been with his attorneys for like 15 years, so
Oh,
he's got to be a good client. He'd
is
never been
that
convicted of anything before this, by the way.
he what?
He'd never been convicted of anything until this case where he pled guilty eventually after sitting in jail for 3 years.
What was it that he was convicted of doing, though? Remind me.
I can't remember exactly. I think it was the conspiracy charge.
Rico, that's a whole thing. Like that's a whole thing. That's a big deal.
It's really not though.
Not anymore.
No, the way they charge it in Georgia, it's like you can get anybody on a RICO. You can convict somebody under RICO even if they haven't committed any other crime, just on the conspiracy.
Wow.
So if you read through the indictment, there will be like they're called overt acts. If you do overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy, and that's how you get looped into the RICO. And some of them are just like Instagram posts of somebody saying, there's one of somebody saying, "Fuck them boys," and that was an overt act in furtherance of conspiracy.
Like witness intimidation, almost.
No, it's like two people who are friends talking to each other. They're like just talking shit about like somebody else entirely. And what else was there? There's lyrics. There's a group picture of just a bunch of guys together.
What is this? What do these pictures and these tweets mean? Like, are you saying that they got charges for saying these things?
No, essentially, yeah, they're used as evidence that they're part of a conspiracy. So if you
like Colin, I'm sorry, keep going.
No, like so if you have some of them, there's a clothing brand that was like YSL affiliated, and they would say YSL on it, and there were a bunch of
it's a designer, the major design. I told my mom about this. She's like, he works for YSL, like the handbags, and I was like,
no,
you won't be able to get a free handbag.
Yeah. So that was one thing. Then there's a gang conspiracy, which is essentially the same thing. It's just slightly different, but it was the same set of underlying facts. Oh, there were drugs, which were in his house. He did have some weed.
Oh my God, it was just weed?
It was like weed. I think there was some codeine.
Give the guys a break, Judge. I have nothing to benefit from weed or codeine. So,
well, they were trying to say that he was selling the drugs to make his money, even though he's doing like tours all the time, and he's make infinitely more money just doing music, which he does by all accounts. It was ridiculous. Prosecution.
It seemed like kangaroo court. Like that, from all appearances, it did not look like it was productive or useful way to spend taxpayers' money. Like just sitting back and watching the clippets that I saw, I was like, no, this is way too much for me. Like, and it's way too long.
Yeah. The crazy thing is the second trial, starting June or July, I have to check. It got moved, but some of those guys are actually like have serious charges. There's one guy who shot a cop, but they're still trying to charge him under this conspiracy thing. And I mean, it's like on video,
dude,
shooting. But if they like try to prove the conspiracy and the shooting at the same time, and it gets messy like that again, that could really be bad for them. So there's some talk that they're going to try to drop the RICO and just charge it like a regular trial, but it's just messy. It's not efficient. It's a mess. A waste of resources too. There's so many people that were working on it.
Yeah, that's all I can think of is like, I know how many people were in each state building on a normal day of business pre-COVID. And like in these were jobs that, some people had really fluffy jobs that an intern could do, so on and so forth. But what were we just talking? I just totally
The
went on
costs or the
the
resources?
grassy knoll in my head. Like,
Yeah. I mean, one thing I was going to say is when they ran out of lawyers to appoint in the first trial. So obviously
oh,
they're the
that's
handful of
wild.
they're the handful of like wealthy defendants who they have the best in Georgia. But then there were, I'm not saying the public defenders were not good, but they just didn't have the numbers because they charged 28 people at the same time. So they had to sever, I think, like 12 or 16 people, and so they just had to keep waiting in jail until the first one was over.
Oh, that is not their fault. That's the state's fault. Like they
I mean, that's
that's
what my client pleaded guilty in in December, so he'd been in jail since 7 months, and his mom was sick and dying, and
oh
um, so that's why he pleaded guilty. They're like, you can. They offered him a plea deal like 15 minutes before the hearing. It's like, sign
of
this, you
course
can
they
go
did.
home, or don't and stay here. And in civil law, in business, that would get thrown out. That would be an enforceable agreement. But
So wait. They haven't met their they haven't let him out yet because he's causing problems. Like they haven't let him out on parole, or like why did he agree to that? And how difficult is it to get someone out after they've already pleaded guilty?
uh, it's usually very difficult. Um, yeah, I can't. It's a good question. I can't really answer it without giving stuff away, though.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'll tell you about it. Hopefully soon.
Will you tell
Um,
us instead? And we can. It's actually you said you wanted to finish up around in like 6 minutes. So um did you want to tell people what your rapper name would be if you had chosen that for a career instead of law?
oh my goodness, I don't think that was an option available to me.
I really think that you could use your head to come up with something incredible.
I mean, I could probably write something, but would I be able to deliver it? Let me look. Let's look through the YSL list here. Who do we got? This isn't good. I can't pull any of these off.
Appropriate right off the bat.
Oh man, I can't pull any of these off. Oh, oh man, something
Karen,
involving Maine, probably. Lil
she,
Maine.
she said she's an Ohio local. Did you know Karen Stone's character in the movie Casino was based on Lacey?
I didn't hear that. I heard Casino and character. I know the
Yeah,
movie Casino.
I love casinos. There's no I don't everyone knows that who follows my YouTube.
Like actual
So
casinos.
I like the actual casinos.
Oh, I thought so. I heard something about the movie Casino.
Yes, and that's why my friend Peter, my follower, he's saying that Sharon Stone's I didn't see the movie. What? Did she like kill him or something? Like are we taking hits at me now? Is that what's
She
going
was
on?
she was very likable in that film. Don't get me
I
wrong.
don't even remember that.
She was very friendly.
I am a very friendly lady.
I mean, it's like a long movie. I mean, even for all their movies are long, but
Yeah. Yeah,
the
I feel like Titanic is the worst, and I it really ruined movies for me,
yeah, it was like the
at a young
VHS,
age.
like the two VHS tapes.
Mhm.
I remember. I had an older sister. She was all about that.
Yeah, that was one of them. Um, is there anything else that you would like to share before, you jump off for the night?
Um, let me see. No, I mean, I'm hoping that we'll have something to share on the in the case soon. We'll be filing as soon as we can, and yeah,
That
I'll
would
just
be
keep
great
on
to hear.
committing. Yeah, I'm excited, impatient. It's funny. This is the funny thing is that he's way more patient than I am. You know, he's the one that's doing this. We'll have a call, and I'll be like anxious and telling him that we need to do as soon as possible, and he'll be like, "Nah, relax, man. It's okay."
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a pretty great client.
yeah. He's happy all the time. It's driving me crazy.
God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah, he's
Especially because he moved his life forward. You know what I'm saying? Like he
yeah.
has
Sure.
contributed to society, like, and he's done with all the stupid tomfuckery that he was doing earlier, apparently, and like has a family and a
Yeah.
business.
He's not the only one. I mean, there was a guy named Trontavious Stevens, and his last thing was from like 2013, 2014. And he like lost his job because he got charged again for something that was like a decade ago. And so he like got set all the way back. It wasn't like he got clean, like he'd been clean for a really long time. And he was like still like friends with some of the people that were in this indictment, but he hadn't been charged anything in forever. There's Miles Farr, the clothing guy, the guy who had the clothing line. He was a
Uh-huh.
college graduate, never been charged with anything. Um, they got him just under the conspiracy. Um,
It just seems like an umbrella that prosecutors often use to just lump people together to make it
yeah.
easier on them.
I think Georgia's is especially permissive in
Okay.
terms of what they can use. I think that they're they're doing it wrong. I think they're just interpreting it wrong. That's my arrogance, but I think they just define some of the things too broadly. It's that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that is a whole different conversation. That's something like when as a lobbyist, I have had to represent organizations. Um I have to also tread lightly where
Well,
I have to check in with other people in the industry to make sure that like this language doesn't alienate them and this is inclusive, that we don't want this, and it's a song and dance. But unfortunately, like when it comes to writing laws, um I think you would rather them have more um wording than be lackadaisical per se and
yeah,
just be able to be thrown at you at any time. So,
yeah. I think they said I think they kind of went they made the same problem, but in the other way. They wrote so much that it's just confusing, and you
oh,
can
okay, like the
argue.
code. Okay.
But same idea. I mean, it's not well defined, not clear. Um, Same exact problem. They just did it the other way. Oh, that reminds me, Massachusetts. I haven't talked to anybody about this. The Massachusetts murder statute drives me crazy. The
Why?
one
What does it say?
it just defines murder using the. Hold on, I gotta find this.
Calypso, you're crazy. Ohio's your second home, girl. Mm-mm.
265. That was 268. Okay, murder defined. This is what it says: murder committed with deliberately premeditated malice aforethought, or with extreme atrocity or cruelty. Blah 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 is murder in the first degree.
Murder is
Murder.
murder.
This is yeah, but what is it like?
The
You gotta give me some.
the unaliving of someone.
Yeah, but murder. It doesn't even say that though. Like you can't define murder using the word murder. Then it says murder which does not appear to be in the first degree is the second degree. So like what? What is?
I will say that the first and second degrees have always kind of hung me up. Like,
Yeah,
what am I reading
that's
here?
everywhere.
Am I doing a puzzle? Because I also, Jim, I think I know a lot more about you than you would believe, and I am obsessed with puzzles. I am like, that's like my jam. That's one of my favorite things to do. So like trying to figure out like this wording, sometimes I'm like, what is this all like going into like a higher motion? Like, do you think I don't want to keep you too
No, no, it's
long.
fine.
I want to know if people, especially like in the chat and you, if you guys think that the first charge is being dropped because of um um why
The habeas or something, or the
no. It there was a discussion about the first charge being dropped because one of the witnesses or the yeah, I believe it's one of the defense's witnesses not calling a certain person. Am I right, chat? Am I
that sounds
wrong?
familiar.
I
I don't know why.
know. I just heard this the other day. I don't know why. I literally just had a Noli grass in the meadows like mind fart again. I can't believe I forgot what I was
Okay, I just pulled up the model statutes. Like, so it's like a guideline for a murder statute. A person is guilty of criminal homicide if he purposely, knowingly, recklessly causes the death of another person. That's what I need. You got to give me something like that. But
say it one more time. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
I was
I
trying
was
not to.
not focused.
Yeah, I was neither, I guess. A person is guilty of criminal homicide if he purposely, knowingly, recklessly, or negligently causes the death of another human being. And then it goes from there and it like adds definitions. So it'll be murder if it's committed purposely or knowingly. And it like goes through and lists things like that.
I mean, that sounds like really straightforward. Like that seems pretty legit.
Yeah.
Like I can follow the law as long as that's the law.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't, that one I'd hope I'd be okay with either way. But
Yeah.
uh,
I do not
uh,
envision myself in jail.
what were we talking about?
It's the first charge. There's discussions about dropping the first charge, and I'm literally dying inside right now because I can't remember
That happens. Let me
what
see
the
here.
thought basis is. And whenever I type to myself or the chat, my entire like picture moves, and I'm trying to juggle too many things. I was it's fine. I'm just
I think the first one was the murder. I know that. And the second one was the that's like there was leaving the scene.
Oh, leaving the scene.
That's 3.
Are you referring to the Commonwealth not calling the medical examiner? Is that what I'm referring to, Peter? You might be right.
But she didn't testify that it was a homicide anyway, right?
Yeah, it was it's like incomplete, or what do they put down?
Inconclusive or indeterminate or something like that. I think.
Anyways,
Mystery.
that was interesting. Thank you, Peter. And anyways, I'm getting sidetracked.
That's okay.
I really appreciated you having you on the show, Jim. I'm all flustered now that I forgot that. I'm like, I've been listening to it for the last 2 days, and I
know.
just
That's what makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
I remember a cold call in law school I had. It was completely random, so you could go like 2 days in a row. And I had just gone and had to talk for like an hour straight on this one case in the class before. Then I got called first thing in the next class, and I couldn't remember the name of the case. And I was more like mad at myself for not being able to remember the thing that I just talked about
Yeah,
for like an
that's what it
hour
is.
2 days before. Ugh.
Yeah,
But
I
like
mean,
11 o'clock tonight. I know the
you'll
feeling.
remember it in 20 minutes. Like it's like one of those things like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But
We all know
I
the feeling.
we're all human, so I definitely don't think that uh anyone is on a Jesus level of this kind of knowledge who isn't, you know, one of the for I meant to say defense attorneys. See, I just need to end the stream. I'm getting all mixed up now.
Oh, man.
But I really appreciate you coming and chatting with me and sharing some information about the YSL trial because I had no idea about any of that.
It's
Um,
fine.
and
It's so much. There's so much that happened.
will you please keep us updated? And then um, if you uh, are looking for like any more clients after that, like keep me updated. Let me know if
Yeah.
like where you're looking and what you're looking at because I think that it'll be interesting to see where you go from YSL.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's all about
But
using that opportunity, man. So
yeah, better not
yeah,
mess this
you
up.
gotta make sure that you conquer it and
Yep,
milk it for all it's worth. So
I will.
I wish you nothing but the best. And I am I'm gonna close early tonight. I know that you guys are not gonna believe this, but I'm actually gonna close down with Jim and end the stream. And then I have a stream planned for Monday. So I will put those details on X and YouTube later. But for now, I am personally starving. I am going to go eat. And thank you so much again, Jim, for speaking with me. And I will have my next guest reveal
Nice.
on Monday. So,
You were on Brit stream last night, right? I thought I saw that.
yeah, I was on Brit stream last night. And Brit is my uh, guest on Monday. So I'm actually glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so I'm not I kind of am certain of who my guest is for Thursday. I don't like to say it yet. I like to
Yeah,
leave people waiting.
yeah, sounds good.
So I hope you have a lovely evening. Bye, Jim. Bye,
That
everyone. Thank you so much. Make sure to like the stream. Bye.